Hello, boys and girls. I wanted to say hello and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to especially thank Conard for talking into the comments and speaking about this phase 3 as it kind of reinvigorated my desire to do more with this YouTube channel. It definitely takes a village to make things happen, and your comments and your likes definitely keep me motivated in order to move forward. Sometimes it can get discouraging, and with this police and thieves game, with the market being down, it's kind of hard to feel optimistic, and I would like to feel optimistic, and I was kind of like neglecting the police and thieves game as well as some of my other projects in order to deal with some real life. But I want to talk about that here today, getting back to the police and thieves. So before I get started, I definitely wanted to forgive me if I'm butchering the name, Conard. I do appreciate you speaking out about the whole gang wars, because I had not caught that at all, and I was like feeling bad about that. Truth be told, I've been studying a lot about stock options, call options, put options, and different kinds of strategies like that, in which case I'm going to be making videos about that at a later time. But getting back to the police and thieves game, yes, there has been a lot of talk about, not a lot of talk, just some talk about the whole police and thieves gang wars thing. So some of the new things that I went back and started looking up is the fact that Sixes has been doing some kind of military deployment, and with him being back, he's been out of sorts for a couple of weeks, which is totally understandable. Having been in the Air Force Reserves myself, I totally get the fact that every month you got to do a 1 weekend out of the year, 2 weeks, or 1 weekend every month, 2 weeks out of the year. So I guess him being from Singapore, he has something similar to deal with. And then I know with Russia, they also have similar situations where you got to do like 2 years of military service, mandatory, which kind of sucks. But I do like the fact that if he's in any kind of sort of military, that he's got to have some kind of honor system in there, just like myself, honor. And I really have that ingrained into my soul. And so it gives me hope that he's going to be carrying this project forward into something bigger, better, this, that, and the other. So he's not just gonna F us over, as it were. But as I was reading on, I started to read about the fact that they're doing some kind of lottery, the fact that they don't go into any kind of specification, like are they doing a lottery for 1 AVAX a day? Are they doing it for NFTs? There's been no clarification that I've been able to find about any kind of lottery of any kind. So it's kind of like, what's that all about? And I suspect that this plans for the 1,000 AVAX is probably something different. Is probably something to help with the treasury to keep the rewards going, keep it sustainable. But it's hard to say what they're going to be doing with it and whether or not we have any kind of vote in the whole grand scheme of things. But I like to think that we will. And of course, here goes into the whole gang fights and the merging of NFTs. Whether or not that helps out the project is hard to say, because of the fact that the project is so low right this second. It's definitely sickening. When I was looking at it earlier, it was kind of like frustrating to see that it was like way less than a penny, and it did not need to be that way. Same thing with bribe. What can you do? So get to it faster. Oh my god, I should have had this tab all the way open. So with the whole bribe token just being 6 cents, when at one point in time it was really high. The police and thieves game, not even a penny. Good lord, I would love to see that thing go down. That's pretty much what I have currently in loot at the moment. And as of yesterday, that's what I have in bribe. And it's kind of like, blah. I would like to see it a little bit higher, but I like to think it's because the market is down, but it could also be that the project is going stale, and that could be why the Police and Thieves is just doing what it's doing. These are all the Police and Thieves I have at the moment, and all in all, the Thieves are doing really good with what they're doing. The Police, not so much. And but it's better than doing nothing. And I know the wife keeps asking me every day, like, so are we rich yet? You know, we made $1 million yet? And I'm like, no, not on this game. And so it's kind of hard to get that ROI back. And I'm hoping maybe somewhere along the lines they will reinvigorate this whole protocol and make it more exciting again. So my daily thing, or my once every other day thing, is to pull the bribe out and then go back into the staking pool. I keep sitting on it. I don't want to be the last one standing, but damn, I keep hoping that this shit will go up. Perhaps with this new lottery, perhaps with this new gang war. Who's to say? But you know, this is pretty much maybe 1.5 days is $3,000 and loot. And I just keep sticking 16. Yeah, I must have done this yesterday. Sticking it in and just sitting on it for when the time comes that I need to sell it. But hopefully it'll be once the price goes back up. But with everything, the market is definitely down and things are just slowly moving up. It's just slow. So don't be too discouraged. I'm still in the trenches with you all. I have not been getting my ROI back out like I should. But it would be pennies. It's like $2, $3. You know, it's like minuscule. You know, nothing like the $250 I put in, or the $300 I put in, or the $200 I put in. You know, it's just, it would take forever to pull all the money back out, unless the price of everything goes back up. But I don't see it going up anytime soon. I'm still invested in the Yield Hunt game. I pulled all my adventures out, and they're just sitting on the sidelines. But for whatever reason, my one and only hunter is still collecting gems. I don't know how, I don't know why, because the last thing I read in Discord was the fact that they weren't going to be doing any kind of tax on shit. But I'm still collecting shit on my hunter. Grateful for it, but still, I want the price of this thing to go up. I want this shit to go into a phase 2. And they starting to talk about rangers and other different things, but until they stick out the white paper for us to read, or until they actually do any kind of announcement, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So it's like, frustrating waiting for this shit to kick off. Still invested in this vapor nodes. I got into it, and as you can see, making about 53 cents a day, but it's still, it's a neat little project, you know. As I start to collect some of these rewards, I keep putting it back in because I started this thing off at 1200, and I have been collecting quite a bit. So when and if this thing does kick off really good, like when the price of everything goes back up, that'll be a nice chunk of change. My biggest thing that I've been grateful for, since how it's been about 2 weeks now anyway, was dealing with Titano. If y'all aren't into Titano, I think I would definitely get into it because I definitely enjoyed the shit out of it. And this is a project right here I wish I got into way earlier, but I did not, and it wasn't until a little bit later that I got into it. Let me switch it up and turn for me. Never fails when you want things to go fast. They go slow. And it's like, fuck, move on. Switch networks. So, back to the account. I stuck $100 into this thing 2 weeks ago, and my balance was $87. If you go back and watch the video, $87 2 weeks ago. And over the course of 2 weeks, I made $47.95. I love that. That's perfect. That's what I've been wanting to do. That's what I've been wanting to see. And all last week, all I kept seeing was every day your total earnings are $2, $2, $2.30, $2.40, $2.50. Whoa! Today it's at $3. A lot of people have this thing going in the right direction as far as their optimism and where it's going to go. So, if I don't do nothing, it does have the potential of right now 157, and at 36 days, if I don't do nothing and just sit on for an entire year, like I'm just sitting on my hands right now, I at least make 151,000. There's a lot of people into it, and it's a good protocol. But definitely do your own research and yell at me in the comments if you think this is shit. But I like it, and it's a good little project for $100. I just wish I had more stuff into the BNB network to actually stick into this particular protocol, and I would be doing it. I still have hopes to get into Thor. Still have hopes to get into Kronos nodes, but once again, I got to come up with $200 or $400 in order to get into those things, and either some of the shit's got to pay off or not. So, but my current focus right this second is playing around with Robinhood stocks and dealing with stock options. I have a particular video segment that I would like to start doing where I started off with like only $25 in the Robinhood and see how far I can get. And so far I've doubled the money, but it's slow going, and so I wanted to bring that out in a whole nother video. But nevertheless, I do appreciate everybody's support, the comments, the likes, and the fact that you guys are sticking with me, because I kind of go in patterns where there are certain days, certain weeks where I'm preoccupied with real life and I'm not able to get behind a computer and do these videos. But in other cases, I'm just doing videos every night for 16 days straight, and then it just fluctuates from time to time. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody and with everything that we're doing together. So these are some of the projects I'm in, and I'm hoping that it'll kick off and do a little bit better in the long run. With that being said, thank you. I appreciate everything, and I'm hoping to get this out tonight. And with that being said, hopefully tomorrow night we'll get this rocking and rolling again too. So chat with you kids soon. All right, peace out. Get to that stop button. Dual screen is killing me. Yeah.